Righteous people will rise again. Oh my God. All over the world, people are shaking for the better world. All over the world, all over this world, people are shaking for the better world.
All over the world. Good morning, everybody. Today is July 6th, 2020, and you are joining us for the Daily Wake and Bake Morning Show with the chosen family. That is all of us in these squares. Good morning. So, 4th of July was this past weekend. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I know I had a blast. With the family up north. We did amazing things, and I know the chosen family had a barbecue, and from what I saw, that was amazing too. Hope everyone watching also had an amazing weekend. I love fireworks. I love blowing shit up. So, that was like the best part. All right. So today's show is brought to you by our community, Minnesota Marijuana. If you are not a part of the community, go ahead and get a hold of one of us on here, and we will send you an invite. And Minnesota Normal, you can check us out at www.mnnormal, that's NORML.org, and do a little bit of investigation, find out, what our cause is really about, and then become a dues paying member for as little as $4.20 a month. But of course, you can always do more. So today's show, we got some really cool stories, some really interesting happenings going on around the country and locally. And so for that, I'm going to pass you off to our very first story to Mr. David.
Thanks, Barry. Today in Medical Marijuana Movement, actually published on July 3rd, Idaho medical marijuana activists likely to seek signature gathering relief after court ruling. Now they're sitting on approximately 45,000 signatures right now. And under the new proposed measure, patients with qualified conditions could receive medical cannabis recommendations from physicians and then possess up to 4 ounces of marijuana and grow up to 6 plants. This is just another cog in the machine that's happening in this time right now. As a lot of states are making a big push, and that's great that Idaho is jumping in. They were kind of one of the ones that were off by themselves for a while with no legalization, and now they're really pushing, and they got a good chance at making this happen.
Thank you for that, Dave.
That's great.
I think what's really cool is I've seen, like, over the past month or so, like, probably at least like 7, maybe more different states who have passed or are passing decriminalization laws or measures in some sort of way to either reduce or completely remove any sort of criminal penalty for small marijuana offenses. And then additionally, some states are even looking into like full pardons, which is just like speaks volumes to like where we're moving and how fast we're moving in that direction. It's really cool.
Correct.
Yeah, I think we talked this weekend about expungement and pardons with Tom Gallagher. We're hoping to get him to come on and give you guys a little more insight on how the law works. If you're not familiar with Gallagher Criminal Defense, look up Tom Gallagher on Facebook. He's the attorney on our board for Normal. Extremely insightful. He'll be willing to give us some info on how that process works. So be looking for a live with him coming up here soon. Hey, Greg, did you want to talk about what's going on in Texas?
Yeah, kind of segues right into what we're talking about in Texas here. So in the capital of Texas, Austin has decided to, sorry, I'm going to my article here. Officers affiliated with the Austin PD department no longer are arresting or ticketing individuals for minor marijuana possession offenses. As long as you can show sufficient ID for a Class A or B misdemeanor possession of marijuana, it is the they're not going to be writing any tickets, or it won't go on anybody's record, which is kind of nice because the city council a while ago had defunded some of this, and the police decided to not go with the city council's recommendations on defunding of ticketing of marijuana, and they kept going with it. And so up until 3 days ago.
So I guess, does that mean that it doesn't go on the record?
Does not, as long as they can show sufficient ID. So I would imagine that's, so in some ways Texas can play with some of the illegal aliens, and that from that standpoint, that's still a ticketable offense there. But as long as you have a valid ID, no, nothing goes on your record, no ticket either.
That's pretty dope.
For a class A and class B minor possession.
I mean, that last little provision, as long as you got an ID though, is like kind of
yep.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those provisions, like the stop and frisk type deal. Whereas like now, oh, you got marijuana, or it smells like marijuana, I need to see your ID or you're getting a ticket, you know, type deal. Whereas like still just completely decriminalized.
It's still Texas, man. It's still
now,
Texas.
if you get a ticket, you can get a ticket, but if you don't have an ID, then what are they going to do?
That's probably where ICE comes into play. I mean, they're not making any comments on that, but I would imagine that's because it'll become a federal thing.
That even not ICE, like say I get pulled over and I don't have an ID on me and it smells like marijuana, are they going to just give me you go to jail down there, huh? Oof.
And
probably go to, because it's so their penalty for minor possession in Texas is 180 days.
Damn.
For minor possession.
Wow. Well, you won't go to jail for minor possession here in Minnesota, or for not an ID, but
and it goes on your criminal record. So that's one of the big things.
They're not going to
go on their criminal record
from being detained until they figure out who you are. And
I would imagine.
That's
in Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. You can't get pulled over and a cop smells marijuana, and if you're not going to cooperate, he's going to sit there with you with handcuffs on until the canine gets there. Then he's going to tear your vehicle apart. And if you don't have an ID on top of that, you can't prove who you are.
I don't know where that happens at. I don't know. I've been pulled over. I give them my name. I give them my date of birth. They go in their car. They pull it up. They see your face there. Like, oh,
okay, well,
whatever they do.
That's if you have that. If that's on file, then you're okay. But if they pull your stuff up and you don't come up with a photo, and they can't prove that you're who you say you are, that situation.
Well, that's driving without That's driving without a license. That's a whole different penalty. Then they have some. You're breaking other laws when you don't have identification when you're driving.
Many people in Minnesota that don't have one that come in here and work seasonally.
Yeah, but my point is, you're talking about them being pulled over.
If
you're a passenger in the car.
That is a Minnesota state law. You have to have identification on you if you're driving. They can actually ticket you.
Okay, so we kind of got into the driving.
That's a whole different subject.
We were just talking about not having identification and getting a ticket for marijuana. So it doesn't necessarily need to be driving. You could be just smoking a joint.
Correct.
While you're walking down the street, and they walk up and they ask for identification.
I got one from a DNR agent when we were ice fishing up north, and I just smoked some in the two-man fish house, and my buddy was like, he heard the vehicle coming, he's like, man, I just know this is bad, and opened up. Sure enough, here's a DNR truck driving right up to us, and the dude said when he opened his truck door, he could smell it, and we're in the middle of a lake. It's like 30-mile-an-hour winds that day, and he said either, all right, cough it up, or, I'm going to hold you and we're going to search all your vehicles until, I'm satisfied. So I gave him, it was a roach. That's all there was. $190.
Yeah, but Minnesota, I guess it kind of depends on who you come into contact with. But in reference to Texas, it's kind of crappy because if you don't have an ID on you, then you're going to go to jail. Basically, if you're smoking a small amount of marijuana And then you said it's 130 days or something like that?
180 days, punishable 180 days.
For smoking a
so
blunt
that's what
without an ID.
Correct.
That's crazy. But if you have an ID, then I guess you're okay.
Then I guess you're okay.
Makes me think we're going to start getting
This is a citizenship.
Right?
This is a citizenship thing. It feels like a way to go after citizenships.
I might get a tattoo of my ID on my arm.
Yeah.
So I can't ever go anywhere without it.
Oh, wouldn't that be dope?
Well, there's...
or you could just get the microchip that they're going to put in your hand.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the local news. So locally, we got a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, we spent a little more time on that portion than we wanted.
Yeah.
Jenny, you got a bong cheers today?
Yep. Let me pull up the photo here.
So locally, what we have going on is today we'll be out marching. There's a march for Philando Castile. Here, let me pull up the exact information. I should have had it ready, but I'll post that into the comments in the Facebook chat. We also will be going up to Duluth, July 18th. I'm kind of going out of order. July 14th, we'll have the Secretary of State's office on. So if you don't follow us, please jump on July 14th with the Secretary of State's office. We're going to talk about absentee ballot voting and how to make sure that you can get out to vote if the COVID-19 issues are worsened at that time. Also, we'll be in Duluth. I'll let Ginger tell you a little bit about what's going on in Duluth, July 18th.
We are going to do registered voting at Leif Erikson Park starting about 12:30. We'll be down by the Stone Stage in that area. Just come look for the booth. We're going to be getting people pledging to vote if you're already registered. We want to give people information about normal. I know we have a lot of followers out in the area, but they just don't want to come out. Come out now. Come see us face to face. If you're uncomfortable on social media, come talk to us.
Thanks, Ginger. And then July 26th, we're doing a Cannabis March for Freedom. Please get involved. We need everybody to show up. We'll have over 250 people coming out with us July 26th. It's a Sunday. We're going to march through St. Paul from Harriet Island to downtown and then back. We're doing a Stoner 5K. So it should be a good time. I got some flags. We'll be handing out some flags that people need, and they're going to march. We're printing up some new shirts for the march as well. The Chosen family suggested tank tops. So we'll be doing tank tops and t-shirts for marchers. I'll post something into the actual event. So if you want to confirm in there and put a shirt size, I'll make sure that we do get a size printed for most of the people that are going to actually show up and march with us. After the march, we're doing a private VIP boat ride. So if you don't have tickets, you still can get on the boat if the state opens up a little bit and they allow us to have more people. Otherwise, we will have barbecue down there. We'll be feeding the community. Corey Jones is going to come down with Jones in Your Bones barbecue. Give him a shout out again.
That's some good food. You did a great job.
Food. Shut up and eat. We'll also have Casual Confusion is going to come out and they're going to play some live music for us. We're going to have a DJ. I think Louis Blaze is going to come out and do a track for us. It's going to be a good time. So if you're interested in getting involved and kind of getting to know the people in the community, this is the perfect opportunity. This is one of the largest gatherings of specifically cannabis supporters that we'll do this year probably. So don't hesitate to come out and hang out with us, get to know us. I know there's a lot of people in the community that are asking questions that kind of, come out and join and meet people in person. So we'll give it over to Jenny. She's got a bong cheer. She'll put a bong cheers up. After that, I'll play a little bit of music and then we'll get back to our next portion of the show.
It's loading.
Mine disappears because my battery went dead.
Medical marijuana is challenging to study properly because marijuana is still considered a dangerous drug by the federal government.
Let's see what we got here. We'll put on Peanut, Fade Away. So.
Got it.
Time it is. Young wavy niggas getting it. E&J. I got blunts for days. Got a bad bitch, hot ass fat, and she smoke for days. I grind hard. Yeah, we okay. We don't catch feelings, catch flights, nigga. No overlays. Fade away. Fade away. Shouts out to my OGs cause they made a way. Fade away. Fade away. Smoke so much if a nigga look around I might fade away. Smoke so much when a nigga look around
That was Peanut, Fade Away. Got you a little sample of it.
More.
More. Yeah, we need more artists.
Encore.
You're watching us.
We dropped a link. Is there a link somewhere to that song?
There is. I can drop the link. It's on the Minnesota Marijuana Arts and Entertainment section where you can pledge to vote and you can also get involved in legalization. I'll drop that in the comments. So you guys can follow that. You can go on there and check out all the local artists we have on that. You can download it for free and play it on your phone or wherever you use to play music. Make sure you get out there and support local. Yeah. So thanks for that track from Peanut.
Dope.
So no guest speaker today. So the guest is you, Corey. I see you're driving, so we don't see any comments from Facebook. I guess we can check out Facebook and see who's on there, and respond to any comments that we may have.
Myself and Vandella are both on Facebook. Camila's watching also, and I think Vari is also watching. But Rubik's is on Facebook right now.
Rubik's?
Ed said good morning. Minnesota, legal marijuana now. Minnesota normal, legalized. Let's see.
Sarah Harris.
Thank you, Vandella.
I have a watch party going in Minnesota marijuana voters.
Thanks for that, Ed.
Me and Jenny are on top of Facebook.
Right.
And now Chris Knutson. Sorry if I said that wrong. Miss smoking with you. I'll be back when I can.
Dope.
Well, we're here for you, man.
Shout out to Chris Knutson. We'll be here every morning. I think we'll be here every morning. Every now and then we'll miss a day.
We may miss a day or two, but
weekends are a little bit.
Do we throw on some reruns?
Yeah, we can throw.
There you go. Best of. There you go. Yeah, we got 18 people watching us right now.
Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Mandy. I see you, Mandy. Good morning.
What up, Mandy?
Good morning,
Facebook,
everybody. Sorry, I was dropping the grill off from our amazing barbecue.
Thanks, Corey. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Grill is done and safe, and Brandon's
Corey,
not
look. Corey, you are my hero.
Yay.
So, yeah. Well, if we don't have a guest speaker today.
Well, there was some breaking news that just came across the wire. If you want to hear about that, Supreme Court just ruled unanimously Monday that states can require presidential electors to back their state's popular vote winner in the Electoral College. So it's going to be popular now. That almost takes out the electoral bullshit crap that they've been bitching about for years.
Wow.
No, it still keeps it in play. It still keeps it on play. The state
vote.
No, it's that state's popular vote.
Right.
So you're still trying to independently win those states and those electoral votes. So it's still the same thing. In the history of the Electoral College, it's only happened like a handful of times where the Electoral College did not go with its state's electoral votes. It's a minor little thing that's happened only a few times. But it is cool that they're saying our votes actually count now. No Electoral College person can override what we say in our state.
Yeah.
But it is really just one of those obscure things. That's why it's a unanimous vote. Because
get out and vote. That's the message, man. Get out and vote. Get your voice heard.
Get out the vote. And then I just want to add, man, everybody's looking at the presidential stuff and the stuff that's going on nationally, man.
Local.
Participate in the local elections. The local elections is where we make our change happen. That's the most.
Control what's right in front of you.
You know, we do want to worry about, the president and all of that, but pay attention to who's running for office in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
for your House of Representatives, for your senators, because these are the people that are going to be able to change the laws here in Minnesota for us. And we got to make sure we get the right people in there. We can't make mistakes. We got to, vote the way that you believe. Right. So with that one, I'm going to hand it off to Vari, man. We're going to take us out of the live, and then we'll continue into the wake and bake portion.
Right. Well, it was a let's see, let me make sure I'm not muted. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, another showdown, another great day. Thank you guys for joining us. I really enjoyed doing this. I know everybody else really enjoys doing this, and so we really hope you guys enjoy watching this. And we really love for you guys to be a part of this and volunteer and donate your time to the cause and all that fun stuff. So if you feel a calling, go ahead and just follow it. Go visit www.mnnormal, that's NORML.org, and see what we're all about. Not just the surface, but really dig down and see what the organization is really about. See if it aligns with some of your beliefs. And if it does, become a dues paying member for as little as $4.20 a month. But I myself think like $20. So you can always do more for people in the college. So again, thank you for joining us today. You guys are great. And just remember that my belief is that we are all here for a reason. Like, we are all where we're supposed to be, exactly where we're supposed to be. And deep down, we're supposed to be following the calling that we feel inside. Some people feel like their calling is to be marching the streets right now. Some people's calling is to be supporting from home. And so whatever it is your calling is right now, go ahead and just do it. And just know that you're doing your part. And in the big scope, it's important. So get out there and vote, and don't forget to love yourself, love your neighbor, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.